Happy Valentine's Day and welcome to the Nation Newsroom with me, Wichitra Dongdi.
And I'm Ong Anan Amatayakun. Foreign Minister Kasit Pirom today is attending the UNSC meeting in New York to resolve the border issues between Thai and Cambodia. The meeting in New York is scheduled to be on tonight over Thai and Cambodia border disputes. The foreign minister is currently attending the closed-door meeting representing Thailand's stance on bilateral grounds. The way to solve border problems should be based on bilateral negotiation rather than bringing other third parties to get involved in this matter, said Thai Prime Minister Apisit Wechashiwat. Since the shootout erupted since the beginning of the month, which lasted 3 days, ASEAN Representative Marty Natalegawa had made visits to both countries in attempts to mediate the conflict. Natalegawa, as the Indonesian foreign minister and the chair of ASEAN this year, is also joining the UNSC meeting to share his findings after the earlier discussions with both parties. Apisit said Thai delegation would explain to the 15-member body that it was Cambodia who ignited the military clash at the border, which claimed at least 8 lives, including a Thai civilian on February 4 to February 7th. As of the situation today, Deputy Prime Minister Suthep Thaugsuban announced that Cambodian troops have constantly gathered at the border by order of Hun Manet, Prime Minister Hun Sen's son. It's an attempt to make the war look realistic to Cambodian people and to get international attention, said Suthep. The outcome of the meeting will be announced by Kasit tomorrow. And you have updates on the Chinese economy?
That's right. China's economy has surpassed Japan's economy as Japan's GDP has fallen due to its drop in export and consumer demand, while China has enjoyed its manufacturing boom. Japan's economy was worth $5.474 trillion at the end of 2010. China's economy was closer to $5.8 trillion in the same period, and the U.S., as the world's largest economy, was worth more than $14 trillion. Japan's stock has recuperated amid the confidence that the global economy will strengthen as oil prices retreat and international political tension has calmed down as the defiant President Hosni Mubarak stepped down from 30 years of power last Friday. However, Japan has played down the significance of the shift and the fact that it has been replaced as the second largest economy, according to the economic minister Kaoru Yosano, stating that Japan is not out to compete for rankings as an economy, but rather working to improve its citizens' lives. The minister also added that China's booming economy is welcome news for Japan, as China is one of its neighboring countries. Looking at the whole picture, most economists agree that while China as a whole is growing and the average person is getting wealthier, comparing only the size of its economy to Japan's does not paint an accurate enough picture. Taking population size into account, this information may be misleading that China is richer than Japan. As China is the most populous state of 1.2 billion, which means that there are more to feed, while Japan's population is only 1.27 million.
Monday, February the 14th. Now that the constitutional amendment has passed the House, a lot of people think that we might have an election tomorrow. Is that possible, technically, legally?
It's not possible.
You know?
It's not possible. A lot of things have to be taken into consideration.
Well, I thought the Prime Minister said, well, you know, all the 3 conditions that I laid down before we could have an election have now been fully met. And the last one is the constitutional amendment. So let's have an election.
He can still say political stability is not, it is a remaining question.
Really?
Yesterday, as we know, that the red shirt and the yellow shirt are protesting at the same time.
So the red shirts and yellow shirts trying to oust Apisit. By doing that, they might be helping Apisit to stay on.
Apisit can say that the political situation is not stable yet.
Wow. So that means that despite the passage of the constitutional amendment, Apisit may still be able to buy more time.
Right. But let's talk about what concerns us first, between you and me.
What?
You and I are equal now,
yes,
after the Constitution Amendment.
What do you mean equal?
It's one constituency 1 MP.
Okay.
So for the people who used to vote 3 MPs into their constituency, now they can only vote for 1 MP.
So we are all equal. Everybody is equal. So we have only 1 MP each.
Right.
And then?
And then what will happen next is a possibility of a landslide election, landslide victory by the next whatever party that wins the election. You know why? Because there will be only one number for each MP, and the party and the MP will have the same number.
Okay.
For example, if a Democrat MP has a number 1, their party also have the number 1 in the election. So it's normal for people who go into the ballot box and they will not mark 1 and then 2.
Just mark one number.
It's natural for them to mark number 1 in one ballot and also 1 in another ballot. So this is a human nature.
Yeah.
You will not go to the ballot box and mark 1 for the MP and then 2 for the other party.
Wow.
It's not natural for them to do so, but this constitutional amendment make it easier for people. They just remember one number because the party and the candidate will have the same number.
Less confusion.
Less confusion.
And fewer numbers to remember.
Exactly. Yes.
How does that help the big parties, Democrat and Pheu Thai?
People will just remember the party number, the big, and people tend to remember the big party number.
So there's a big change.
It's quite a big change also.
How does that influence the outcome of the election, you think?
It could influence because, as we discussed, people tend to vote the same party and the same MP. But this also charter change also will benefit smaller party too, because in the old charter they stipulate that party that win at least 5% will be entitled to the proportional representation in the party list. But now this 5% limit is now off, so any party can benefit from the party list voting.
So you think this is a great way of changing things?
Everyone seems to be getting something from this constitutional amendment.
Okay, so in the end, the question still remains: when will Prime Minister Abhisit dissolve Parliament and call a new election? All these are details, but until and unless we have a date of the new election, all these supposed benefits will not materialize. So it's Abhisit and Abhisit alone who decides the timing.
That's all for tonight. Thank you for watching Nation Newsroom.
And follow us on Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. on Nation Channel. Have a fantastic evening and we'll see you tomorrow.
สวัสดีครับ